We all right?
I don't want to ruin my makeup.
You might think you know everything there is to know about Kim Kardashian, but the reality star spilled the freaking tea with David Letterman on Netflix's My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
I'm so happy that it's been well received.
Now we're breaking down the 8 things we learned from her tell-all interview, starting with this. The OJ Simpson trial tore her family apart and put Kim and her sister Kourtney in an awkward position.
The week before that happened, we were all in Mexico together and at a family trip, the Simpsons and us.
Kris was best friends with OJ's late wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and took a firm stand against the former athlete.
My mom was extremely vocal on her feelings.
What did she think or feel?
You know, she believed that, you know, her friend was murdered by him. And that was really traumatizing for her. And then we'd go to my dad's house and it was a whole other situation there. And it would be like Johnny Cochran, Bob Shapiro, my dad, like the whole team. So we didn't really know what to believe or whose side to take as kids because we didn't want to hurt one of our parents' feelings.
Kim says the tension only got worse as the trial continued.
And my dad took us to court one day with him and he took us out of school and didn't tell my mom. And I remember my mom was sitting with Nicole's parents and Kourtney and I were sitting right behind OJ, and we like look over at my mom and she's like giving us this death stare, like, what are you doing out of school? What are you doing here? And Kourtney and I were like, just look straight, do not look at mom. It kind of tore our family apart, I'd say, for the whole time of the trial.
And speaking of awkward, number 7 on our list, Kim was once mistakenly mislabeled as a mistress, arriving at her dad's house. Yup. Kim recalls after OJ was deemed not guilty in court, Robert told a then 14-year-old Kim and her sister Kourtney to come to the house where the legal team was celebrating. Well, the two drove over illegally and were snapped entering the house.
I pulled up to the gate on my way home and there was all these cameras outside. And then that night on hard copy, it said, Robert Kardashian's mistress pulling up to his house. And I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't believe it that they were making this stuff up. And that was like my first real lesson with the media.
Moving right along to number 6. Kim's following in her late dad's footsteps, studying law. And when it comes to her non-traditional law program, the 40-year-old is in good company.
Abraham Lincoln did it this way, famously. So it's legit.
The KKW founder assured people that her at-home program through the California State Bar is just as hard as the more traditional law school route. And get ready for the cutest thing you'll hear all day. Kim's hubby Kanye West helps their daughter North with her school dance competitions.
We just took our daughter to a school dance, and there's a dance competition, and you know, how will she feel if she wins? How will she feel if she doesn't win? And it consumes you so much.
How did she do at the dance competition?
Her and Kanye have won, I think, the last 2 years in a row.
She definitely has Kanye's outgoing personality and will say whatever is on her mind, no matter what it is or who it might offend.
And get this.
None of us have spoken, and we're letting Bruce speak first.
Before Caitlyn Jenner fully transitioned, Kim recalls being 26 years old and walking in on her then stepdad, Bruce, dressed as a woman.
Bruce called my phone and said, whenever you're ready, I'd love to sit you down and talk to you. But in the meantime, don't tell a soul. Your mom has no idea and she will kill me. It was just a little confusing because we all wanted to be there in support of, but then also wanting to support our mom, who this is news to, married to someone for 22 years. Her heart is broken and they have children, and it was just a lot when you kind of find out along with the whole world.
But my favorite moment of the whole thing, Kim admitting her little sisters Kendall and Kylie Jenner have no clue who David Letterman is. Yes, I'm serious.
I hope you don't take offense to this, but I was telling Kendall and Kylie, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do Letterman, and they were like, who? What? Like, They literally only do social media stuff. And that to me was like, what? It was so fascinating.
Number 2 on our list, Kim revealed that back in October 2016, on the same day she was robbed at gunpoint in Paris, she had a conversation earlier that day about a potential robbery scenario.
Me and my girlfriends, we had lunch that day and said, if you guys were robbed, what would you do? Would you just give them the stuff? Why we had this conversation, it was so wild. And I said, I would say, take everything, just take everything. Nothing is important.
And last but not least, Kim thinks her man makes more money than her. Keyword being thinks.
Who's making more money?
Him, probably.
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 How close are we?
We're exactly even.
Well, good.
We both are really blessed and do extremely well. And I'm really grateful.